Hello Year 2, it's Mrs Bailey here. I am at home live teaching at 9:45, 11 and 1:30. If you can join me, it would be lovely to see you. If not, this is the pre-recorded session on exclamation marks. So let's get going. So today we are going to understand when to use an exclamation mark. And to be successful in this, we're going to have to identify an exclamation mark in a sentence, where we use them. We're going to have to understand that something exciting happens when we use them, or that someone feels very strongly about an event. And finally, to be successful, you are going to actually write sentences, finishing them off with an exclamation mark. Yay! And as you can see, I have used an exclamation mark to finish our success criteria off because I'm excited about it. Let's get going. So here we go. What is an exclamation mark? This is an exclamation mark, and if you join me for the live session, we will be having a little bit of a go at Kung Fu punctuation. If you can't, then I have uploaded a PowerPoint of Kung Fu punctuation, of which you can have a read through and you can teach your family how to do it. So there is my exclamation mark. It goes down like this: she and ha, which is the full stop at the bottom there. So we're going to be using this today. When do we use an exclamation mark? We use it when we hear something loud, like a loud bang, and you can see my exclamation mark on the end there, all capital letters, because I really mean it. It's something exciting that has happened and frightening. Being pleased about something. Oh, how lovely it is to see you. What a lovely present. And there's my exclamation mark at the end. A surprise or a fright. Oh, eek, ah. And you can see all of the lovely exclamation marks, the she and the ha, which would be in Kung Fu punctuation. And then something funny. How can you tell when an elephant is in your bed? Look for the eh on his pajamas. And there is the exclamation mark. So now we know when we use them, let's get started and have a go. So an exclamation mark often begins with a what or a how. So here's my first one. What a tall man he is. Because you're really flabbergasted by the fact he's so tall, and he is very, very tall, this man. And there is my exclamation mark at the end, and there is the what at the beginning. Also, they begin with how. How lovely. Look at that delicious chocolate cake. So how and lovely, because I really mean it. And there's the exclamation at the end. So these are exclamation sentences. So let's look at some of my exclamation sentences. What have I done wrong? I'm sure every single person is shouting, oh my goodness, it's the Lovell House squirrels eating pizza. Well, yes, because they are on their hollybops at the moment and they are enjoying pizza and cake and all sorts of naughty things. Don't tell Mrs. Bruce. Shh. Here's my first one. I love pizza. And my second one, what a beautiful photograph. So these are exclamation sentences. What is wrong with them? I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to work it out. Brilliant. I'm sure all of you have shouted at me. That's right. I have a missing capital letter here and there's no exclamation mark because these squirrels at Lovell House love pizza. I love pizza. This one is my beautiful sunset picture. It says what? Missing a capital letter. You spotted that a mile away. What a beautiful photograph. And I'm really meaning it. I'm emphasizing it. I think it's really lovely. So I have to have an exclamation mark on the end. So well done. Give yourself a pat on the back. Excellent job. So can you now make these sentences into exclamation sentences using the word what to open? That means to start each exclamation sentence. So have a look at them and then we'll have a go. So I can hear you all shouting at me, Mrs. Bailey, you need to change that too. This is what you need to change it to. She is a good singer becomes what a good singer, exclamation mark. As you can see, my exclamation sentence begins with the word what, and it ends with my exclamation mark just there. So that would be absolutely perfect. The next sentence, exclamation sentence, well, at the moment it's just a sentence, but I want to make it into an exclamation sentence. So I'm going to change the beginning word to what, because they sometimes begin with the word what. What a big dog, just like my Finley and Guido. They're huge. And there is my word what at the beginning, and there is my very clear exclamation mark at the end of my sentence. Final one, thinking of Cosmo the cat here. It is a good cat. Becomes what a good cat, exclamation mark. So very clear, what a good cat becomes an exclamation sentence instead of just a boring sentence. So we have what a good singer, what a big dog, and what a good cat. Right, let's get back and see what our core task is today. This is our core task. Now you know all about an exclamation sentence and how to use an exclamation mark. What you are going to do is you're going to whiz through this because you're fabulous, because if you pay attention and you look carefully, you will not get caught out. So you don't forget to check your work as you go. I've put an exclamation mark in there, and silly mistakes can happen really easily. Don't forget how exclamation sentences can sometimes begin with the word what and how. So let me show you your activity today. Here it is. This is your activity. So what you need to do is you don't need to write your name and date at the top because you might have already written it in your book and it says exactly what you need to do. So task 1, make these sentences into exclamation sentences using the word what to open each one. The first one has been done for you. Oh, this looks exactly like the one that I did. He is a tall man becomes what a tall man he is, exclamation mark. You can see that they've moved the words around. So instead of he is become what and then a tall man, they've put he is at the end of the sentence, at the end of the exclamation sentence. So it is a good dog becomes what a good dog it is, if you like, or what a good dog. Then you have 3, 4, 5, and 6. Do not forget your capital letters and don't forget your exclamation marks. You have a task 2, which is to read the passage. It has no sentences, but I've given you a hint here. It says it has 7 sentences. There are 2 sentences and 2 question sentences because you learnt about questions a few weeks ago when we came back from Easter, and you need to write out correctly below. So this is the passage and you need to write it down in this space here, or you can write it in your English book. You don't need to print off the sheet. You have a lovely English book you can write it in. It was Emma's birthday. She was so excited. What presents might she be given? She ran downstairs. Emma felt really happy. Where might the presents be? They were piled up on the kitchen table. You've got to decide 2 question marks, 2 exclamation marks. You can go through and highlight it in different colours for each sentence that you think might be. Then go back and see which ones might be the exclamation sentences, there's only 2, and which would be the question sentences. And your final task is to find 2 exclamation sentences in your reading book and write them in your book or on the back of this piece of paper if you've chosen to print it out. Finally, if you need a challenge, because some people like a lot of challenge, you have an optional 2 challenges to choose from. You can you find examples of different uses of punctuation marks and then create a lovely wall poster to help you to remind yourself of how you use these. Or you can have a look at this activity. You can use these words, frog, dog, log, and rat, and to see if you can write a statement, that means a sentence, a question, and an exclamation sentence for each of the words. For example, I've given you a little bit of a go at the bottom here. If the word was cake, you could have the cake had chocolate on the top. That would be my sentence. Who would like some of Mrs. Bailey's birthday cake? question mark, because I'm asking you, would you like some? Who would like some? And then the final one is, what a delicious cake, which is an exclamation sentence because it's got that word what at the beginning. So that is your task, year 2. I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with. If you'd like to send me any of your work, I'd love to see it. Remember, at bailey.cl@nottinghamhigh.co.uk. That would be lovely. And I hope you have a lovely day. Take care, year 2. Bye-bye.